we are all set. First of all, welcome to the Masters Toronto post-match press conference. Today we are joined by Team Heretics. Thank you for being here. Well, we are going to start with the press conference. Remember, members of the media, select your name and also the team member that the question is going to be raised. We are going to start with some questions from the media online. Please raise your hand. We have one question for Rasur.
Hello there. This is a question from the VALORANT competitive Reddit community. To Benji Fishy, what is it about VALORANT competitive's ecosystem that made you think this is what I want to do? And what caused at the time was a shocking switch from Fortnite?
I think when I always dreamed of being a pro gamer, I dreamed of playing something like really competitive. You know, when I was younger, I loved watching League. And I think when I was pro on Fortnite, there wasn't the same sort of like competitiveness that I liked. And I just really liked the idea of, you know, being a pro in a game where everything's about competitive and being the best. And obviously Fortnite has that, but it's not the same like sort of system. So yeah, I mean, when VALORANT came out, I loved watching the early tournaments. And I mean, I was a big like CS fan. I loved Overwatch and VALORANT's kind of those two games combined. So yeah, I think that's kind of what drew me to VALORANT in the end.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next question is from Chitaku. Chitaku, can you hear me?
Hello. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So Team Heretics, I'm sorry for the last. And my question is for Narciso. So my question is, what do you feel was lacking in order to adapt to PRX style play?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sorry. What do you feel was lacking in order to adapt to PRX style of play?
Oh, I think this time, obviously, we played them last year in Madrid. I think they were a very different team back then to what they are now. They play with a lot more structure now. I think we just struggled to get in the game. Like we played pretty poorly ourselves, but they also played very well. They have a very explosive team, very strong firepower, and we just couldn't deal with it, to be honest. I think they had a good game plan coming into it. Ours wasn't the best, clearly, and yeah, they played way better than us. They deserve to win today.
Okay, thank you so much, and good luck in the next match.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Pedro.
Yes, hello guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Well, first off, commiserations on today's match. Obviously tough way to go down. Hopefully you guys can bounce back in the next opportunity. I'm gonna send this one out to Boo. Mostly talking about what happened in map 1 in pro, and then maybe also like connecting that with the rest of the series. I want to ask you just sort of like, how did you view the team's performance, and losing 13-1, obviously not the kind of performance anyone would want to absorb, but still, like, what do you think was the biggest issues that affected the team, and how did that kind of trickle forward into the rest of the series?
I mean, yeah, we started really slow, and I think like the biggest thing was that the aim fights that we had were not even real aim fights. We were like always in wrong positions, on the wrong side of utility. We were not brave enough. We were not coordinated enough. Our fundamentals were bad. So basically, all the fights that happened, they just won most of them quite easily. And when you play like that, there is just no chance you win. Like they're getting 2-3 kills per round. Like it's impossible to win. So yeah, for sure, like our performance was not even close to our level. Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much. Next question is from Adrian.
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry for the loss. I have a question for Nizino. So obviously you mentioned that you had a worse game plan coming in and that PRX was shooting better than you guys. I was sort of wondering about the prep time. Obviously, you guys have had much less time since EMEA ended weeks after Pacific. I was wondering whether that factored into the game plan at all.
Yeah, probably to be honest. I think it's quite well known that you don't have as much time to prepare, right? We had a couple of scrims on Peril, one actually, I think. It's not an excuse though, like Boo said, fundamentally we just were completely out of it. So prep time, sure, does it affect it, but like prep time shouldn't affect our fundamentals as a team, it shouldn't affect our communication. Yes, sure, we've had a lot of media and stuff the last couple of days, but PRX are also in the exact same situation. Yes, maybe they've had a bit more time to prepare at home, but you know, the 3 or 4 days leading up to the game, PRX have the same situation as us. So it's not an excuse, to be honest. I think we, like we said, we just played really bad as a team. They played way better than us. Game plan obviously could have been better. That's something that I'll take on board. Myself and Weber will take the blame for 100%. But in terms of like fundamentals, I don't think the prep time affects that at all. So it's I don't even factor it in. Like I said, we just did not play good enough to win at this level of an event.
Thanks, and hope you guys bounce back.
Thank you.
Okay, next question is from Shobi.
Yes, hello, Zobi Freelance Esports commentator. My question can go to anybody on the table. I know we heard it in the comms. You guys are obviously going to reflect on the mistakes, but you're focused more on the future and moving forward. So I just wanted to ask, out of the teams that you think are going to be moving forward into the O1 group with you, who do you want to go up against and why?
I don't know who's going to go into the O1 group, but I would prefer not to play against Team Liquid just because I don't want one of the European teams going out Insta. So for me, any team apart from Liquid, for me, to be honest. I think actually, I'll say I want to play against a Chinese team because last time we played against a Chinese team was Champs against EDG, and I just enjoy playing against Chinese teams. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say Chinese teams as well. It's fun.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next question is from Jorge.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. For Nilsinho, what is the lesson learned from this game? Will there be major change for the next game?
The biggest lesson is if we play like we did today, we are going to be going home very, very early, and that's not what any of us want. It's not what I want. It's not what the boys want. It's a big kick up the ass if we didn't have one already against Fnatic in the grand finals of EMEA. This is another kick up the ass. In terms of major changes, I think we have 24 hours until the next game like we have tomorrow, and then that's it. So the biggest change that we need to make is our fundamentals and our the way that we play as a team. And obviously myself and Weber will change as much as we can macro-wise to make sure we're more prepared.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going to take the last question online. The media on site, please go to the mics. We are going to start with the question here on the room. Last question for Shobi.
Yes, my question can either go to Boo or Nilsinho. PRX had played that Pearl composition only once in a recent non-VCT event. We kind of talked about how you guys might have had less prep time. So I was just curious, how prepared were you for it and what made it so hard to play against once you actually were in the server?
Which one? First or second?
On Pearl.
Pearl?
I can take it if you want. Are you good?
Yeah, I can take it.
Yeah, I think when I was looking at their games, I think something I told the boys before is they've got 5 different Pearl comps on their last 5 games. So yeah, like you said, it was it's really hard to predict. A team like PRX, they can change it up a lot, and we had to focus on ourselves more than them. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it, you know. And like Boo said earlier, the hardest thing, like, sure, you can't get a full read on them because you don't know what comp they're going to play. And then also, when that's the case, we need to be incredible on our own game, and we just weren't. So that, like Boo said, I just think we didn't have clean aim fights. We weren't in the position to take good fights. We weren't coordinated enough. Yeah, I think we just got caught off a lot, unfortunately. And it was it's really hard to come back when you're getting kind of snowballed like that, you know? You start getting the ults going, and it's very, very difficult. There was some chances. There was a couple of 3v2s, 2v2s. If it goes the other way, we've got a chance of getting back into the game. But yeah, when you lose those, it's really difficult.
Of course, thank you and good luck in your next match.
Thank you.
Now we are going to take some questions here in the room.
Awesome. Yeah. My name's Shayo from Canada. This is a question for Benji and Miniboo. So specifically, sorry for the loss again, but there were some really cool things that I did still see from Heretics. Benji and Mini, there were some rounds where, Benji, your defensive play was still really good at the highs of this game for your team. And Mini, in those same rounds, you were playing really aggressively at the same time ending the round. When it comes to these really crazy clusters of rounds where there's a defensive play happening and an offensive play happening, how do you guys manage that in the communications? Is there someone leading comms to keep everyone calm, or are you guys just fragging out at your peaks?
I can start. I mean, okay, I don't want to do the whole question, but for me, you know, a lot of the time I have my job to do, and they, like, Domi has his job to do. My job, normally I'm a little bit quieter because as a Sentinel player, you're solo quite a lot of the time in certain areas, like you need to hold down places, get info. So I just call kind of when I need to, because if I start speaking way too much, if I have like Fortnite comms, then I'm just gonna flood. There's gonna be no space to speak, right? So, yeah, I think I've got my job to do. In general, I'm more quiet than Domi, just because he needs to call for utility. He wants to make plays, whereas I'm most of the time just chill. If there's somebody in my face, I'm going to shoot them, you know? So yeah, that's kind of my part.
I mean, for the aggressive part, I'm calling the utility and the people I need around to make a play. Sometimes I just focus on my crosser if I feel that I have timing or no necessity of my team's help. So I think like I'm more vocal on the attacking side because, like Benji said, he's most of the time alone and he doesn't require much utility because he has his like utility to play on.
Nice. And just one last question for Nilzinho as well. We saw a nice little funny comedic hover in the beginning of Pearl with a double walls, Viper and Harbor. You know, are we going to see any crazy things? Is there anything cooking you want to leak over? Keeping things, you know, light and hearty now for what's coming up. The crowd went nuts when we saw that hover, so we want to see the special stuff.
I think it was just because they told us that the crowd would see it, so we just trolled a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll see. We've got some stuff planned, but nothing.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Good luck. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we still have some time in the call if someone wants to ask some questions. Okay, if not, thank you, Team Heretics. We have one question for Rasur.
Sure, and this one goes back to Benji Fishy from the Valorant competitive community. What's the story behind your new hair?
There's not any crazy story, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Woot went blonde at Champs, and I was like, damn, he looks pretty cool. So, and he played pretty good at Champs, and other people have gone blonde and have done pretty good. So I was like, you know, why don't I try it? You know, the only major change I've had in my appearance was growing my hair out, growing my mullet. So this is the second change, going blondes, and I like it. So yeah, I don't know, for fun, to be honest. And I thought it would be just a cool idea.
Looks great, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Heretics, for being here with us. And well, good luck in the next match.
Thank you.
Thank you.